Moving on to our next guest that we would like to introduce is a well-known personality. His name is Nitin Palan, and may I say a global namaste and a Jai Sri Swaminarayan to Nitin Bhai Palan. As I said, a very popular personality who has been working with various community-based charities, projects, and serves as a trustee and interfaith coordinator at the BAPS charities, the Swaminarayan Temple. Started an organization of Diwali in London in the year of 2001, which has now continuous membership of 12 Hindu organizations in London and collectively in partnership with the Mayor of London. Celebrates Diwali at Trafalgar Square every year. And this annual one-day festival attracts over 35,000 people. With the number of stalls, the number of entertainment that we have there, it is a colorful event that has been organized, and behind that is our popular Mr. Nitin Bhai Palan. Created a portal to show the contribution of the Indian soldiers in the World War I. He organized various discussion groups and a bus that was converted into a museum, visiting many schools to share the education and contribution of the Indian soldiers. He worked with the British Royal Legion in launching Khadi Poppy in 2018, recognizing contribution of the Indian soldiers. Nitin Bhai Palan created a portal to show the contribution and concerns of Hindu community in the United Kingdom. He set up a Palan Foundation that helps to fund educational causes in the United Kingdom and in India. Besides sponsoring young people education, he has also organized Diwali celebrations, not just in Britain, but in the European Parliament over the last 5 years. I'm waiting for my invitation to that one, Mr. Palan. And he also serves as the patronage to the Religious Education Council of England and Wales and the National Army Museum. So without any further delay, would love to welcome our humble guest today, Mr. Nitin Palan, and a global namaste and a Jai Sri Swaminarayan to you.
A global hug from me.
Thank you.
Namaste, Jai Swaminarayan.
Jai Swaminarayan. I have a quick question for you before you start, Mr. Palan. What does kindness mean to you?
I think I learned the act of kindness from my spiritual master, watching him be the symbol of kindness. To be able to give without expectation. To be able to let others progress ahead of you without expectation. And to be able to ensure that everything, to recognize that you are not on your own, you are not an island. And that means everything around you has to progress, has to be joyful, has to be progressive. And if everything around you is full of love and kindness, then that should be your role. And this role of seva, which what it transfers into, I actually saw that demonstrated in a very different area, in a hospital in Rajkot that I would love to share with you as a live experience. Something that left me tearful 15 years ago, but I have never forgotten since then. So hospital in Rajkot in India, went in there to see how patients that didn't have money would be given food. So went into a small room, there's a couple there serving food to people sitting on the floor, obviously very poor, waiting for the next medical treatment, but they're waiting and they needed to be fed. I learned afterwards that there's a calendar of 3 years. There's such a big demand for people to want to serve. A couple, once every 3 years, is given a chance to make food at home and serve food to these poor people that didn't have the money. But the beauty was the next thing that I saw. I requested if I could serve the people myself, and they gave me the opportunity to do so. So here I am with a basket of chapatis, serving chapati one by one to every person sitting on the floor. First one, would you like a chapati? Yes, please. Would you like another one? No. Would you like a chapati? No. So as I went along, I could not understand why these very fickle-looking people, obviously they're hungry, they only asked for one chapati. I couldn't take this anymore, so an old lady, would you like a chapati? I said, Mataji, Mom, why would you not take another piece of bread? And she said, because there are others here too. And that made me realize that we spend all our life accumulating, wanting more, and instead of need, we replace the word need with greed. So for the next 20 minutes, we got video presentation of 5 different organizations, starting with a group of community in India that prepares chapati, an extra 5 chapatis a day per family, that collectively goes out to be distributed to street people in India while they're waiting for COVID-19 to finish. Followed by a presentation from the Neaston Temple, how they serve the community from every background, hospitals, police stations, all people, followed by, in the end, by ISKCON community, where you can see in practice how kindness does actually work. Kindness is the human nature. Please see it in work. Namaste.
Thank you. We look forward to watching this presentation, Nitin Bhai. And as you preach and you say the act of kindness, and you've said so much about it, obviously behind you is sitting your spiritual master, Mahanta Swami. Lovely picture of that. And that is the Swaminarayan Sampradaya. And they're so big in seva of humanity. And that's amazing. That's the greatest act of kindness. So thank you. We look forward to watching these presentations.
Thank you. Over to Cash.
Yeah, I believe he's ready to start the presentation here. Thank you.
More than 150,000 rotis are collected at this community hall in Surat every single day. It is a pure civil society initiative by Chaindo, an organization run by Bharat Shah and Ramji Chandak, local businessmen. Cars and trucks pull in every morning to drop off stacks, no, mountains of rotis. And volunteers at the center help make food packets from them. These packets will be given to migrant workers. Some here show master chef level skills at chopping and cutting. इतना फास्ट कैसे काटना सीखा? सीख गया? हाँ, अपने आप? काटो? When the rotis arrive, some arrive like this, with coins and notes placed quietly between the chapatis. Surat's people say this is the female touch. The story behind this roti bank starts in the small kitchens of thousands of women across buildings and homes in Surat. At housing societies like this one across Surat, a simple community initiative is making a real difference. Homes are making 5 to 10 more rotis than they normally do. And then you have people who will come and collect the rotis from housing societies like this one, from where they go into big centers from where they can be distributed to people who really need them. I'm standing here in a housing society in Surat with some of the women who are leading this initiative, and I want to just come here and talk to some of them. दीदी मैं आपसे पूछूंगी पहले तो आप अपना नाम बताइए.
My name is Preeti Shukla.
Okay, Preeti, this idea, it's a very simple and a sweet idea. So how many more rotis is your home making?
I have 10 rotis for my home.
हाँ. So 10 आप extra बनाते हैं?
Yes.
अच्छा, और इस हाउसिंग सोसाइटी में सभी औरतें ये इनिशिएटिव ले रही हैं?
Yes.
तो ये आपने कैसे लेने का ये जो फैसला है, ये कैसे शुरू हुआ, कैसे आइडिया मिला?
ऐसे एक बार हॉस्पिटल में से छाइडा में से आए थे, तो उन्होंने हमको बोला कि आपकी सोसाइटी में से दे सकते हैं.
हाँ.
फिर महिला मंडल ने सबने फिक्स किया कि हम लोग सब देंगे, और एक ही जन के वहाँ सब हम कलेक्ट कर दे देते हैं. फिर वो लोग आकर कलेक्ट कर लेते हैं.
So many of you have been looking at images of our migrant workers walking the highways, walking the streets, and you've said, what can we do to help? Here is an example of what you can actually do. This is a good cross point between NGOs and the local administration and the power of the individual. कैसे आप लोग ये coordinate करते हैं सारा?
हम सब रोटी बनाते हैं सुबह को और इनके घर पे सब जमा करते हैं।
किसके घर पे? ये मैम के घर पे सारी रोटियां जमा होती है। तो आपके एक दिन में आपके घर में कितनी रोटियां आ जाती है पूरे हाउसिंग सोसाइटी?
400 तक तो हो ही जाती है।
400 तक आ जाती है। तो ये करके आपको एक फीलिंग होती है कि हम भी कुछ डिफरेंस कर रहे हैं। थोड़ा बताइए क्या सेंटिमेंट है इसके पीछे?
रोटी बना के देते हैं तो हमें अंदर से फीलिंग्स आती है कि समाज के लिए हम कुछ अच्छा कर रहे हैं।
So remember that yes, governments have to step in, but so do all of us at a time of crisis. दीदी आप बताओ कितना रोटियां एक्स्ट्रा बनती हैं?
10 रोटी।
10 रोटी। और कोई मतलब तकलीफ भी नहीं है क्योंकि रोटियां तो बन ही रही है घर के लिए।
और घर से ही ले जाते हैं तो घर बैठे ही अच्छा काम कर लेते हैं।
तो आपको क्या लगता है लोगों को क्या समझना या सीखना चाहिए इससे?
नहीं, इसी वक्त जो कोरोना चलता है उसमें सब हेल्प करनी चाहिए, खुद दान करना चाहिए,
हमारा भी ड्यूटी बनता है।
हाँ, हमारा ड्यूटी बनता है।
दीदी आप क्या बोलेंगे? What is the message behind this initiative?
सेम यही कि जितना हमसे हो सकता है हम कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं
और छोटी सी चीजें लेकिन फर्क बड़ा पड़ सकता है।
सही बात है, सही।
दीदी आप क्या बोलेंगी? ये रोटी बैंक एक तरह से बनाकर आप क्या संदेश देंगे?
ये ऐसी सिचुएशन में सब अब यूनिटी रखेंगे तो भी अच्छा रहेगा। और हमारे यहाँ से प्रीति शुक्ला ने जो किया है उसके लिए उनको भी धन्यवाद है और हम लोग डेली उनके यहाँ दे देते हैं।
So Preeti, the last word to you on this, this is a time when people are in panic, and it is a time when either people can come together or there can be silly divisions. But you have shown the power of the individual. This is जो बहुत से लोग कहते हैं ना हम क्या कर सकते हैं, उनको आप क्या कहेंगे?
मैं तो बोल रही हूँ हम मतलब गुजराती में जो बोल रहे तो कहते हैं कि भाई काला माथानो मानी कई पण करी सके છે। मतलब कि जैसे ये 10 रोटी बनाना तो बिल्कुल आसान है।
So 10 roti banana आसान है. It's a model that I think can be emulated across the country. If you're cooking, cook a little bit of extra food. Get a local NGO to coordinate with you and have it sent to a center, governmental or non-governmental, that is actually trying to feed people who really, really need this. Gayatri, if you want to add to this a larger sentiment.
Yes, I want to add so many things. एक तो एक एनजीओ है और अभी जब ये मुश्किल हुई तो हमारे सूरत सिटी में जैसे 10 लाख लोग ऐसे थे कि जिनको खाने की जरूरत थी और हम लोग वहीवट में थे तो हमें भी एक प्रॉब्लम था कि सबको कैसे रोटी और सब्जी खिलाए क्योंकि कोई भी मशीनरी इतना साथ बनाने में पॉसिबल ही नहीं था। और तभी हम लोगों ने पूरा सूरत सिटी में एनजीओ और ये सब बहनों का सपोर्ट मिला और आज ऐसा हुआ है कि सब बहनें अपने घर में रोटी बना रही है और आप अगर फील्ड में देखेंगे तो लोग ऐसे 5-6 रोटी हाथ में रख के उसमें सब्जी रख के इतना आनंद से खाते ना, तभी हमें इंटरनल फीलिंग मिलता है कि भाई चलो हम और कुछ तो नहीं कर पाते पर इतना तो हमें उनको खिलाया है।
और मैं इसमें ये भी कहना चाहूंगी that women are leading the way, because women may have been carrying the primary responsibility of food at home, and at the time of a lockdown they have multiple responsibility because their children are also at home, their elderly are also at home. तो औरतों की जिंदगी में काम बड़ा है, कम नहीं हुआ है. So more salutes to all of these women behind me who are doing their bit for the city of Surat.
Here at the BAPS Sri Swaminarayan Mandir, the Nisdan Temple, based in northwest London, with the inspiration of our Guru, His Holiness Mahan Swami Maharaj, many of our devotees and volunteers have turned to small acts of kindness to try to help other people. This mandir was opened by His Holiness, created by His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj and opened in 1995. Since then, it has inspired thousands and thousands of devotees to give their time, to give their energy, to give their talents in the service of God, in the service of the temple, and also in the service of society. His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he taught us, in the joy of others lies our own. His was a life of selfless service, but he also taught us as his devotees, his disciples, that seeing how we can contribute to the happiness of others through many ways, be it physically, emotionally, spiritually, it will also turn out to be our greatest service to society. So with this motto, in the joy of others lies our own, our volunteers here at the Nitin Temple and many other temples around the UK and also our centers in Europe have been helping the COVID-19 pandemic relief work efforts. A summary you can see of the work that has been done so far. Many of our devotees and volunteers are reaching out. Naturally, we can't meet each other in person, but reaching out through the phone. All families in the communities where our devotees are based are reached out to, and they may be given messages of support, guidance, if help is required in the way of groceries or medicines or even meals. We try to provide that help as far as possible, obviously depending on how many volunteers are available locally. To date, in the UK and Europe, around 61 centers, we have 1,100 active volunteers who are able to contribute to this effort. And through their efforts, to date, 12,000 plus families have been served with over 34,000 hot meals. We're also reaching out to hospitals and key workplaces to ensure that the front line continues while many areas or many countries are under lockdown. Through doing this, we've managed to reach thousands and thousands of people. Also, electronically, online views, we have webcasts which allow us to not just stay at home, but also to pray at home. This has also provided a tremendous source of solace in this time of need. You can see that we've reached out to many organizations. Many of those are hospitals and also medical institutions, and also reaching out to the police or the fire brigade or the Brent Council, Transport for London. You can see some of the feedback that has been provided, but trying to just provide through small acts of kindness and trying to make people's life a little bit joyful, because we know what they have to go through day in and day out. We stay at home, but they have to go to work. So they can continue to ensure that our essential services carry on running. Just want to quickly go through our BAPS Connect and Care initiative, inspired by our spiritual leader, His Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj, an initiative to stay connected with and also serve the community, particularly those who are elderly, those who are most vulnerable, including expectant mothers, and those who may be ill or in self-isolation. And this is managed through a dedicated network of volunteers who assist with shopping, errands, and deliveries. Just to see a few examples, what we call the tiffin service, we have almost 900 freshly cooked meals, which are currently home delivered to various homes, which includes the elderly and the vulnerable, by a pool of more than 100 volunteer drivers. On the front line, we have the NHS National Health Service, the doctors, the nurses, all the support workers at the hospital, including the pharmacists, the cleaners, the porters, many people involved to ensure that the health of the people in our country and other countries is improved. So they get the right treatment. So they are looked after. And providing just a little bit, it may be a lunch here and there, it may be a few groceries or a few provisions to staff up and down the country working in various hospitals or healthcare institutions, providing assistance to the fire stations, selected ones where we have local volunteers. Again, they're keeping our frontline and our emergency services going, and also expressing their thanks to our volunteers for their help. Providing assistance to the police. They also regularly maintain their patrols around important places, including our temple as well. And we're glad to say that we are also able to support them in various ways by providing small acts of, it may be a small meal or it may be some snacks. Local faith groups have also been very useful and very active at this particular time. So trying to help each other out so that they can continue to serve their own faith communities. And in this way, not looking at religion, not looking at creed, not looking at background, try to help one another and support one another in this time of need. Food banks have been essential in providing much needed provisions to people around the community. So we try to do our little bit by providing rations, groceries to local food banks so they can continue to serve other people in the communities that they are based in. The bus drivers, these are people who keep our frontline services going to ensure that people get transport to places where they need to get to. So whether it's bus drivers or the Transport for London, the TfL staff running the tube services, we try our best to give a little bit to them in their time of need. This is a school that's fairly close to our temple here in Neasden, and the children got together, a beautiful painting that they did to say thank you for everyone's kindness and generosity for the community during these difficult. The Brent Council is just one council out of many in the country, which is working round the clock to ensure that people don't suffer. So again, various workers working in different aspects and different fields in the council. We try to provide meals or snacks for them as well from time to time. You can see that they were also blown away by the kindness and generosity of our volunteers. The care homes, we know that there's a major issue at the care homes due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. So providing to the care home workers, also some of the residents themselves of the care homes, they also appreciate the special meals as well. And that's also proved to be a great gesture on behalf of our volunteers. The armed forces, you can see the British Army have been active in setting up mobile testing units around the country. And some of our volunteers have also been providing them with lunches to ensure that they also continue their great work. We have small centers in Europe as well, on the continent, in Lisbon and in Paris. Our volunteers have also been providing and reaching out to those in need and providing essential provisions. The key workers have been working day and night. Many of those are from our community. So a special video tribute to these key workers serving together in the joy of others, based on the motto of His Holiness Pramukh Sai Maharaj, to say a thank you to all these workers for continuing to work together to serve the nation. They appreciation from a local MP and also from the Lord Mayor of Birmingham, Mr. Mohammed Azim, for our volunteers and their kindness and their seva, their selfless service. Naturally, we want to say thank you to all our volunteers, but this would not be possible if we did not have support from literally thousands of donors who have been continuing to support the Coronavirus Relief Fund initiated by BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha based here at the Neasden Temple. So people have been donating online and also with Just Giving. And this has enabled us to continue our work through the volunteers to feed thousands and thousands of people. And a thank you, not just to the NHS, but all these institutions, all the frontline. And you can see even our young boys and girls, they got together and they worked out, what can we do? They may not be able to donate money. They may not be able to donate or be able to partake of their time because they're too young. But they created these cards. Boys and girls as young as 3 or 4 years old have been creating these cards. I think there's been about 400 cards already. And these are thanking the NHS, thanking our care workers, thanking the front line for their help. So we are very grateful to everyone who has supported us in these efforts. Further information, we have been keeping people informed, educated as well, through our website, through special videos, through special webcasts. And you can also get further information from our website, neasdentemple.org, or also through social media such as Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook.
As devotees of ISKCON, our tradition is focused on uplifting human society out of suffering and helping us to connect to the Supreme, the ultimate shelter, the source of everything. We're all distressed to see the world so deeply impacted by the turmoil caused by COVID-19. We offer our gratitude to those on the front line for protecting both neighbors and strangers. We offer our deepest appreciation to the tens of thousands of doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals who have put aside their own safety to protect those in need. It is said that the most difficult of times can bring out the best in people. In order to play an active role in support of our community and our frontline workers, we decided that our Food for Life initiative would provide an excellent opportunity to show care and love through the distribution of free plant-based meals.
It's so nice to see food being loaded up, delicious, home-cooked food, freshly prepared, loaded up, to be given to needy, vulnerable, and key workers in the healthcare sector. I'd just like to thank you very much for bringing these meals for our key workers, frontline staff. A nice warm meal, keep them going to help all the patients daily. Thank you very much.
We started by reaching out to the isolated, elderly, and vulnerable, and now we have increased tenfold to providing for over 15 hospitals across 3 health boards, delivering to 300 homes daily, over 20 GP surgeries, working with local councils, charities, PCOs, and to date, I've distributed over 15,000 meals. To make all this happen, we have a fantastic team of selfless volunteers, our dedicated kitchen team, the cooks and the packers, our delivery team, and those that are managing and organizing behind the scenes.
Hello, my name's Damien. I'm from St. Peter's Parish over in Ross. Some families who are very, very, very grateful, delivering 6 meals to one family today. I just come back.
I've met a lot of really grateful people that are really happy that you've been able to deliver them food. I really, really, really appreciate actually having this opportunity because it's come at quite a difficult time. And especially the cooks, they've made amazing food and it is so delicious.
Yeah, I mean, get involved. Doesn't matter if you're part of the Secrets Recovery. I'm not personally, but was just able to get involved and help out, and I think it's just important that we all just do what we can. Now, despite all of our economic and technological advancements, we have been forced to slow down. Times like these can bring us together to understand our vulnerabilities and our dependence on each other, on our planet, and on God. While our hearts break, seeing the suffering all around us, the forced lockdown is revealing something deep. Our rivers are cleaner. Our air is easier to breathe. We can hear birds again singing in our cities. And Mother Earth is beginning to heal us. It is also an opportunity to question our choices. Realize that we need to act in a more environmentally responsible way. It is now confirmed that our pace of life is choking our planet. Now we slow down. Nature has begun to regenerate, and scientific evidence has shown that our abuse of the planet and of animals in particular, including a meat-centered diet, not only contributes to pollution through agriculture, heart disease, cancers, but is a significant causal factor of global pandemics. It is a time to consider more viable and healthier options, including a plant-based diet. Now is not the time, by the way, nor is it ever, to succumb to fear and strike out against those who are different or more vulnerable. Or those of other faiths, nationalities, or ethnicities. Viruses do not discriminate between people. Neither should we. God gave this world to all of us, so now let us learn to share it as equals. The ancient yoga textbook Bhagavad Gita says one should see all beings as equals, humans and animals. Gandhi said there's enough for man's need, but not for man's greed. On behalf of the Food for Life team, I would like to make a humble request from the heart that we need your support to maintain, fund, and increase our effort in reaching all those that need our help. How can you help? You can sponsor a meal, give a donation, you can give some of your valuable time. Or whatever way you can think, please don't hesitate to contact us. Together we're stronger. In these strange times, although surrounded by a mountain of darkness, together we can build a tunnel of hope and light. Thank you for watching. Hare Krishna.
Summer Monday today. To prepare all this food and help us by Pension Monday and Rules on Monday. And we're going to be providing all these foods to vulnerable and NHS staff. So we've got here today Jana Sak and Batana. So we're going to be going all different areas, different drivers, dropping off food to different types of people. Some that have just finished a shift from NHS, some that are vulnerable and can't step outside the house. So it's something that Stand on Monday I started, and Kenta Monday and Rules on Monday that I've helped out today, and every other day of the week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Isn't that wonderful? I could spend 15 hours, 24 hours showing you examples of acts of kindness. And this is just a sample of it. So thank you, Cash, for making it happen. Thank you to all these people that actually believe kindness is not something that happens once a week, once a month, once a year. It's actually a way of life. We all need to make kindness into a way of life. Power of kindness will change the world. But we want to evolve. We don't want to have revolution. We want evolution of human nature. Last word from my beautiful wife, Kamu. She has something to say.
Guys, just on that, what I would like to say, let's get rid of COVID-19 and replace it with kindness 20.
Okay? Let's have kindness 20. Get rid of COVID-19. Namaste.
Yes, namaste.
Nitin Bhai, thank you, and Kamu Ben, thank you very much for this amazing presentation. A slight apology to all the viewers with the slight technical hitch that we had at the beginning, but it was well worth the wait, wasn't it? It was amazing. What an act of kindness. And I can certainly say this is where religious faith groups, and particularly the Swaminarayan Sampradaya BAPS, have got this Manav Seva. Serving the mankind is such a big motto of Pramukh Swami and Mahant Swami, and you are, as devotees, doing just serving his mission. And by doing that, the great act of kindness is taking place. And look at the number of people being fed. The 5 or 10 rotis causes a revolution, and it certainly has. And this act of kindness is spreading everywhere. And it's through foundations and people like yourselves, Nitin Bhai, who's organizing all this to make sure that this can happen. Now, before we finish our presentation here, there were a couple of things I thought were amazing. The number of great volunteers you have, the tiffin service, and at the time of Corona crisis, you have become Karuna crisis, the mercy that everybody is showing. The karuna that people have for humankind. And also the corona crisis has led to corona, meaning get going and get doing. So this is the act that we have seen from these videos, and a huge inspiration that we've had from what you've shown us. So a massive thank you from Healing Our Earth to yourself, to your foundation, to your BAPS, everybody. It's amazing. Now, before we leave, I would like you to share your message with us. Is there something that you would like to tell all the viewers globally right now? And then we'll end this presentation.
I think Shamida wants to say something. Shamida ji?
Yeah, I just want to say, Nitin Bhai, that all I'm going to say is we're blessed to know you, Nitin Bhai. Kamu Ben, we're really blessed. Nitin Bhai and myself and Anna, we know each other since 2013 when we first met. And it's been an incredible journey, how we've had a roller coaster rides, I think we can say that, but how we've come together and shoulder to shoulder, moving Kind20, hashtag Kind20 together as brothers and sisters, friends, families, as one family, I would say. Hashtag Kind20 is moving as one family. There's no leaders here, and there's no people, there's no workers. We're working together, shoulder to shoulder, and that's how humanity needs to grow, shoulder to shoulder, walking forward, so we can have a much, much peaceful, harmonious, and pleasant future for our children and coming generations. So Nitin Bhai, we love you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nitin, thank you so much, because you have so much you can offer the world with what BAPS and, you know, are role models really for seva and service to mankind, and other communities need to learn this. Kamu, thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Shamida Bhai.
I just because we were able to demonstrate doesn't mean that it's not happening elsewhere. My friend next is going to be talking about the Jewish community. Every community is doing this. Kindness is the human nature. It's hidden. Let's bring it out. And I said, just evolve, not revolve. So kindness, we're going to be there next year. Forever.
Thank you very much, Nitin Bhai, Kamu Ben Palan. A massive thank you from all of us at Healing Our Earth. and hashtag kind20. Thank you very much.